And it all comes down to this. Good morning, everyone. Sorry about the lighting here this morning. I'm about an hour right now from writing this must pass, and I am nervous to say the least. This is the worst it's been. Actually, haven't felt too bad. Now, it comes in waves because, like, my mind, though, God, I love this stuff with, like, the meditation stuff. So, my mind is, like, completely, there's nothing happening, basically. I've had thoughts and all of that, and I can tell they're related to the exam, but it's so weird because it's so quiet up there. But yeah, I just wanted to vlog this. I don't know if I'll end up sharing this if this doesn't go well. I have no idea. I feel like I should though, because, you know, part of this journey is not just sharing the good things, it's sharing how everything actually is. But other than that, I can't really say much about it. So I'm just going to try and not freak out over the next hour while I wait before the exam time actually comes. I think having this time in between is like the worst part about it, I think. And I used to feel like that when I was in university too and writing finals. I would always go quite early so that I was like right at the front of the line. I could pick where I wanted to be. It's nice to be somewhere early, but it doesn't really do anything to even try to study. I feel okay about this because I feel like there's not much more I can do to prepare. It's going to be a matter of making sure I do my due diligence during the exam. Like, I know how to do questions. It's just, okay, making sure I answer the right question, paying attention to details, those kind of things. So, yeah, I don't really know how to feel right now. I don't know what the chances are of me getting this on the first try. I honestly, personally, being honest with all of you, I think getting a 90% on my first try is going to be a little difficult. I think it's asking quite a bit, but it would be nice if I could do this today so that the pressure is off for the rest of the week and I don't need to feel like this again, possibly even more so on Thursday when the remedial is. So that's why I've worked so hard to try and get this on my first shot, but I really don't know what the chances are of me actually getting this on the first shot. Breathe in, breathe out, and take it 1 minute at a time. Hey everyone, it's about 10:15 on Tuesday, December 10th. I think that's the date. I don't know. I just go day by day, exam by exam at this point. Speaking of that, um, I did it. So I managed to pass my must pass on my first attempt. Now, I was gonna film this downstairs so that I could properly show this. However, I want to show you guys how much I grinded to get this mark. Guys, grinding is an understatement. This book was completely empty when I started studying, and like I've gone up to this page here, almost the full book, and this is all math problems. Now, you guys know I had to get a 90 in order to pass the class. That I made very obvious in why I was so stressed out. However, not only did I get a 90, but I ended up with the closest mark I could get to 100 without getting 100, which was 96. So that was a really cool thing to have happen. I was crying for probably like an hour. I knew I was going to cry either way, but happy tears for about an hour last night. It was such a huge amount of relief and just makes, now that I'm done the test that I wrote today, it just makes everything else just that much easier. There's not really like, so I've got 2 more tests before Christmas break. Both of them are open book, so I can have my notes with me. I think what I'm gonna do is make a summary to study today and then play with some of the stuff that we've done in class that can be tested on. Just make sure I know how to find stuff and all of that, because that's what's going to be important for that one. We're on the home stretch here, and I honestly could not be happier with the way that not only classes have gone this semester, but how my finals are going this semester. I haven't done this well since high school, and honestly, like, I didn't even do this well in high school for the most part. So there's gonna be my math class that brings down my average a little bit because, like, I didn't do great on all of the quizzes. Like, I did enough to pass, but, like, the must pass is worth a certain percentage of our final grade. But I honestly wish it was worth more at this point because, like, it was such a stressful exam, and I feel like a final shouldn't be worth only 10%, but especially when you need to get a 90 on it. But anyways, I feel like that anyways because you get a 90 on something that's worth like 30%, and it's like 26. Like it's so much of the grade, and it makes your grade jump that much more. But yeah, so I think that's all I want to update on for right now. Like I said, this is just a huge relief, and I don't need to write the remedial, so I don't need to do any more math. I mean, I don't think I could. Like, I think if I hadn't passed and it was close, I would have just got to pay attention to the details. But like this book, this is the front of the book. I used almost this entire book, and I did every single worksheet again, except for some of the conversions, because the conversion sheets I really felt were significantly higher in content because she was trying to get us to practice we could memorize them. And ironically, there wasn't much on the exam with conversions. There's a little bit, but not like in our midterm. Nowhere close. I wish I would have caught my raw reaction, but I was so nervous, and I was actually looking on my phone, so I didn't have my camera close to me. So sorry for no raw reaction, but you can imagine a stressful exam like that, how relieved I was. In fact, I was so relieved, I fell asleep really hard last night when I went to bed, and then woke up at 5, and my body's like, yeah, you're not getting back to sleep. It feels like morning. So that did happen too. That math class was a prerequisite for a lot of things for next semester. So, like, it's a prerequisite for so many things that if you fail it, you basically set yourself back a full year. Now like I said, we got 2 attempts, so the next attempt is on Thursday, but now I don't need to write it, so that's great. Today, the exam went really well. I have to be honest, I didn't study much for it. There's a lot of overlap between my degree and this class, and then there's a lot of overlap between this class and several of my other classes, which is great because I'm actually studying for that too, to a certain degree. Doing really good. I do want to do as best as I can, obviously, because GPA, but it ultimately doesn't matter. Like, it's just more of a little bit of a redemption for me from university, where I struggled so hard to just get a 67 or a 68, and now I can put in almost less effort and get a higher grade just because the foundation is there, and I know kind of a little bit more how to study properly for things. Kind of study smarter, not harder, kind of cliche type thing. Hello and good morning, everyone. And I just am coming on here to conclude this week's vlog. It's actually Sunday. I just totally forgot to close out this vlog, so I thought I would come on here and do it quickly. And also share some end of the semester thoughts, because my semester is now concluded. It finished on Friday. And I'm sorry I didn't vlog very much of it, but it's really hard because all I'm basically doing is writing exams and then studying. I don't know if maybe next semester I might do some like live episodes of when I'm studying, but it depends on if I decide to stay in this spot or if I go upstairs. And the thing is when I'm in when I'm not in this spot, it's really hard for me to actually have the space to study, and I like being up there because I can have my feet up. Although I did ask for like a footstool for down here. And then also, this room is quite cold now because it's not really well heated in here. A couple of big things happened over the last few days. So, finally got email from SCPP, which is our regulatory body here in Saskatchewan, and it means that I was able to start the internship application. So, the only thing I was able to do right now was fill in whatever I could fill in for their demographic information and then upload my reference letters and that kind of stuff. So now, once again, I'll be waiting on them to get back to me on that. And then hopefully they'll get back to me on those quite quickly so that I can do the rest of it, which will include paying a fee. My luck, it'll probably be next week when I'm having to pay for my needle at the same time. My needle is about probably almost $200 cheaper than the internship application would be, at least based upon the old numbers, but it's a necessary step. And I'm honestly feeling, now that I've gotten past this math course and I've started actually like doing this intern application, it's like it's starting to feel a bit more real that, it's not just a school program like how my biochemistry degree was. Like, it's actually you're training to be a professional in a field, which is really nice, actually. So, it's very different. I'm looking forward to semester 2. Now that I've passed my math class, I'm eligible to take all of the classes. And so that means that I will get to do our virtual labs, which I'm really looking forward to, because labs and the more doing stuff with crawl and all of that, it feels more like work. And I went into this program because I like and enjoy work. Now, speaking of work, because I am actually done now until January 6th. I thought it was January 3rd initially, but we got our schedule a couple weeks ago now, almost a couple weeks ago, and it's January 6th. So we get basically 3 full weeks in between semesters, which is absolutely awesome. And it never happened to me when I was in university. I think I always went to the very end or almost the very end. I'd be lucky if I had 2 weeks. So that is really cool. I actually still have the old schedule up from a few weeks ago, so I gotta take those down, and I gotta do some organizing in here because I've got papers everywhere. I think I do want to get an accordion folder to keep everything like exams and stuff that I have to send in, lab stuff. I think I probably might end up seeing if I can find a smaller binder for the actual lab. My big binders, they worked okay, but they were so full at the end of the semester that I was just no longer using them. But I am going to try and do some organizing and stuff in there just so that it's not a mess. I almost wonder if I need some shelving, extra shelving behind me back here so that I can keep everything. The good thing about my schedule this next semester is that once again it's concentrated towards the start of the week, and the end of the week is pretty open. So that means that I should be able to manage doing the schedule that I did in November throughout the whole semester, and obviously work whatever they let me work during our February break, which is a full week. So that's great. Unfortunately, though, for April, unlike in university where you kind of end at the start of April and do exams until the end of April, it looks like we go right until the very end of April. So that's going to be different, but I think it'll be fine. And then we get like 3 days, and then we start the in-person orientation after that. I think it's going to make the winter go really fast because the fall went stupidly fast. And if everything stays on track over the next little bit here, I'm already 25% done if I stay on the current track, but it'll be like half done when the next semester ends. Sort of. More likely after May, I'll be half done because these have like 3 semesters basically to them. In terms of how I'm feeling about this semester and how it went, I'm really, really happy with my performance. I'm back up to kind of comparable to where I was in high school. I'm gonna have a couple marks that do bring that down in the end, but so it's gonna eat into my average a little bit, but hopefully it's miles higher than it was in university. So I am very happy. It was a lot less stressful for me going into exams because I had already gotten marks pretty close before I even wrote the exams of where I actually needed to be at the minimum. So everything else from there was just a bonus. And, you know, I hope that by having a strong performance with my first semester, that it sets a good foundation for the rest of the program. And I keep getting told that if you can get through first semester and even if some second semester fairly well, that the next part gets a lot better because it's a lot more hands-on. So I'm hoping that that's the case because when we start doing the more hands-on stuff, I really start to enjoy it because obviously I picked this program because of everything that I do at work. So, and it's a very limited amount as an assistant, as I've explained. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, all of the opportunities that are ahead. Just getting to try everything that's, there in the pharmacy field is exciting too. By getting math on my first try, it made the week really not that bad at all. It was one of the easiest exam weeks I think I've ever had. By passing my math on the first try, I didn't have to do the remedial, so I actually got an extra day off to study, which was good because I totally neglected that one class that one day, and got up early the next day, and I'm glad I did because I was getting concerned there. I didn't take much of a lunch break that day because I'm like, I don't know whether I'm gonna get through this information to the point where I need to for the exam tomorrow. And just like, yeah, I'm kind of regretting taking a break, but in the end, it ended up working out. As for video content, I probably won't have anything now until the semester starts. I think I've kind of caught you guys up on everything that I need to catch you guys up on, and there won't be any new developments until the new year. And I usually do tend to take a little bit of a break in December anyways from making video content just because it gets busy at work and then I like to spend that time either with myself or with my family. So probably won't be any new content until I start back into the semester, which is January 6th. Maybe before I conclude this video, let me just talk about this because this is really fascinating to me. You guys know I've been very open about this, that I have had extreme exam anxiety in the past. It started in university, got really, really bad actually. If I was to say anything about whatever's shifted here, and I have to be honest, I haven't been doing much formal meditation. I tend to meditate now just kind of whenever it feels right, and I don't really ever like mark it down. It just kind of comes when it comes and all of that. But this whatever shift has happened up here where my mind is so quiet and I don't really think about the narrative anymore. I went through a very rough time to get to this point because you deal with emotion work, you deal with shadow work, you deal with your deepest demons coming up and basically biting you on the face. That's how it feels like anyways. And you deal with some of the things that you don't want to, acknowledge or all of that. It's kind of hard to explain it, but something has massively shifted with how I approach things. Like I was still feeling the nerves, but as soon as that feeling of stress and anxiety came up, my body automatically went into, that space. And although I could feel those feelings and emotions inside my body, my mind was not making up stories about it. And there was a really big thing about when I got to the end of doing the worksheets, I'm just like, I really hope I can get this on my first attempt because if I can't, I don't even know where to go from from here or go to from here because I've done like everything I can think of to possibly pass this course. I'm not going to get into details either here or if you guys are friends with me on Facebook. I did actually share my university marks on Facebook. I'm not doing that this time. That will stay between me and myself, basically. So, yeah. Anyways, now I think I'm good to conclude this video. So, if you're watching and you want to be notified whenever I post new content, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It helps more than you guys know. And as I said, there likely will be a content break from now until the new year. I may do little snippets here and there if, things are happening with either internship application or I happen to do my, I happen to do stuff over the holidays, but it's not likely. I probably won't do anything now. I've got a day off actually because I thought I started on the 3rd of January. I've got that Friday to prepare for the next semester, so I'm probably going to wait and do it then. I will be going back to my regular hours now, so I'm also looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll help with needle expenses mainly, so I am paying for that injection now. I keep thinking, actually, I'm just like, wonder what the chances are I'm gonna have to pay my internship application fee and my needle all in 1 week next week, so we'll see. Thanks for watching, everyone, and it's been really fun sharing this last semester. I know things got a little weak at the end, but I'm hoping that I'll have a little bit more to talk about. So a couple courses that I do have should be quite challenging but interesting. So I'm going to be talking about different pharmacy products that are available. We're doing a pharmacy management course. Get to learn about why pharmacies are laid out the way they are and all of the business stuff that goes into them. And legislation to prepare for the jurisprudence type of stuff. And there's no formal math this next semester, but we've got advanced computer skills course, and we've also got a lab. So the math will be with us now for the rest of eternity. Not it maybe, converting from pints to fluid ounces, but, figuring out days supplies and total amount to dispense definitely will be a big part of my job going forward. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Sorry about the break in content again, but school comes first. This is just a hobby and a way of me sharing my thoughts. It's basically like a video diary, and if people want to watch, they can. If they don't, they can click past it. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye, everyone.